Have you ever laid in bed at 2 in the morning and your brain is just aggressively replaying that one awkward thing you said at a party 3 years ago? Or maybe you sit down at your desk, stare at a massive to-do list, and suddenly your heart is racing, like you're in actual physical danger. Your chest gets tight, your breathing gets shallow, and instead of starting the work, you end up scrolling on your phone for an hour just to numb the feeling. It's exhausting, and you probably sit there asking yourself, why can't I just shut my brain off? Why am I so lazy? Well, listen to me for a second. You aren't broken, you aren't malfunctioning, and you are definitely not lazy. Your brain is actually doing exactly what it was perfectly designed by evolution to do: keep you safe and comfortable. But here is the hard truth about the modern world. Comfort does not keep you alive anymore. It just kind of keeps you average. Your brain evolved over thousands of years to protect you from getting eaten by lions and starvation, not to write college essays, answer endless emails, or build a business. So when you have a difficult task to do, or you're just overwhelmed with 1,000 thoughts, your brain literally hits the panic button. It triggers the exact same stress response as if a predator was in the room. In Eastern philosophy, they actually have a perfect name for this chaotic state. They call it monkey mind. It basically means a restless brain that violently jumps from thought to thought, avoiding discomfort like it's literally allergic to effort. When your brain goes into monkey mind mode, it pulls what I like to call the scam. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You tell yourself, okay, I need to start this massive project. And your brain says, absolutely, let's do it. But first, let's clean the entire kitchen. Or let's research the complete history of bubble wrap. You do all this fake work to avoid the real work. So how do we stop this? How do we turn this off and get our focus back in just 5 minutes? The first step of what is called the Lotus method is pure awareness. You have to catch the scam in real time. When you notice your brain saying, let's just check Instagram first, I want you to literally pause, take a breath, and say out loud, nice try, brain, I see what you're doing. This sounds crazy, I know, but neuroscience shows that simply naming your mental patterns, saying, this is avoidance, actually activates your prefrontal cortex. That's the highly logical, decision-making part of your brain. Doing this instantly takes the power away from the emotional, reactive part of your brain that is currently panicking. You make the invisible visible, and suddenly you are back in the driver's seat. But you still have all this residual anxiety buzzing around in your head. Imagine trying to cut a piece of wood with a chainsaw, but the chainsaw is just violently shaking all over the place. It wouldn't work, right? It would just make a mess. Well, that is exactly what your brain looks like when it's overloaded, with noise, notifications, and a to-do list that looks like a CVS receipt. Most people think the answer is to just push through the resistance, like they are trying to push a car uphill with square wheels. That maybe works for 2 minutes, and then you just burn out completely. Instead, we are going to use a practice of stillness that ancient monks used called zazen. It's basically giving yourself a moment to let the mud in your mind settle. And before you click away, thinking I'm telling you to go sit on a mountain for an hour, I'm really not. I'm talking about exactly 5 to 10 minutes of absolute stillness. Here is what you do. Sit down. No phone, no music playing in the background, no podcast. Just you existing quietly. When you first try this, your brain is probably going to scream at you. It will beg you for a dopamine hit. It will tell you that you are wasting time. Ignore it. The science behind taking these 5 minutes of quiet is honestly insane. Sitting in stillness actually lowers your cortisol, which is your main stress hormone. At the same time, it increases your alpha brainwaves, which are the exact brainwaves linked to creativity and problem solving. So literally, in about 5 minutes, you completely change your brain chemistry. You turn your brain from a panicked mess that sees hard tasks as physical threats into a calm, focused tool that sees problems as just puzzles to solve. Over time, you'll notice the chaos just kind of fades, like muddy water becoming completely clear. Once the 5 minutes are up and you feel that drop in anxiety, it's time to act. But we aren't going to fight the river, we are going to flow with it. Your brain's threat detector, the amygdala, still sees that big project as a danger. So, you use the gateway task rule. Make the very first step ridiculously easy. Don't say, I'm going to write a 10-page paper. Say, I'm just going to open a blank document and write the title. This flies right under your brain's radar. And once you start, your brain will naturally release dopamine for making progress, which builds massive momentum. Overthinking isn't a personality trait, and you aren't doomed to live with it forever. It's just a symptom of an overloaded, overstimulated mind. Like a lotus flower pushing through the mud, before it blooms, your growth takes patience. When you finally learn to stop fighting your own biology, catch the scam, and just take 5 minutes to let the mud settle, things that used to feel like absolute torture suddenly become proof that you are leveling up. Your brain isn't your enemy, it just needs a minute to breathe, so it can start working for you instead of against you. So, I want to know, what is the one hard thing you've been overthinking that you're finally going to tackle today? Drop it down in the comments. And if you want more ways to hack your brain and destroy procrastination, you know what to do. Hit subscribe and let's grow together. Catch you in the next one.